Hi, Scorpio. Welcome. Okay. Welcome to your annual reading. Sorry for stuttering. Let's go ahead and get started. I just got the annual card, this kind of the overall umbrella energy card. I've already pre-shuffled. I'm just going to hold them up this time, month by month, about 2 to 5 cards approximately per month. So let's go ahead and get started. So overall energy of the year is the Queen of Swords, which is so fitting for you because she's associated with the sign of Libra, which is your 12th house, which is such a huge part of who you are. We always take on a lot of the qualities of the sign right before us. She's very decisive. She's very directed. She knows what she wants. She knows what she's going to go after. And she can be extraordinarily passionate, compassionate as well. Passionate, compassionate, and she can be very mean when she needs to be when it comes to cutting out negative energy. Okay, let's just leave it at that. And this is going to be a year for you to rid yourself of the things that no longer serve. And it's going to probably be a little bit of a... she's got the head there, and I can't stop looking at the head of the guy. And the word that's coming to my mind is like, it's going to be a bloodbath, right? But what I mean by that is that you're just going to be like, this is good for me, this is bad for me, yes, no, and you're not going to make any apologies for that, right? You're not going to be someone that's going to deal with codependent things. You're not going to take on extra expenses where you don't need. You're not going to waste your time. You're going to start working really, really smart, even smarter than you already are. And you're really going to get your priorities straight. That's how I see this. I mean, it's super strong, right? And it goes perfectly, actually, with the first month of January, which we get the Emperor energy coming out for you, which is very both of these cards are very scorpionic. This card being ruled by Mars, and this one representing our underworld, right? Our subconscious self. And here you are, boom, Sun comes across Pluto, totally in your element, totally in your vibe, having that transformative experience and handling it like a freaking champion. There's a quality here where a lot of people are going to be very kind of in their own world, but you feel so empowered by this energy because it's just like such a life force. It's just such a part of who you are. And change, I think you can feel, like you can sniff it, you can smell it in the air, is coming. And that happens next month, which I'll show you in just a moment, because we're kind of making our way into Aquarius season. And Aquarius and Scorpio, Aquarius and Scorpio are very much about change, right? So you can handle that energy really well. And here you are, kind of like bring it on kind of energy. There's no task, there's no situation, there's no decision that needs to be made that cannot and will not be. There's so much power within you. So what happens in Aquarius season then? Well, first off, you release yourself from these ridiculous fears. I think you right now, doing these recordings in October of 2018, like right now, you are recognizing these things that are holding you back. You're recognizing these fears, you're recognizing these doubts. So what happens in a few months from now in Aquarius season in February is you have the opportunity to really strip yourself away. You're no longer avoiding, you're no longer living in denial that these fears or doubts or whatever have been kind of determining your decisions. And what happens is you liberate yourself. This is a time of courage, actually, is how I see this. Doing extraordinarily courageous things. Things that other people look in and they're like, are you sure you want to do that? And you're like, yeah, I'm sure. Like, I know that this is what I want. And I know that this is where I need to go. Because your inner voice has been speaking to you for a long time. If I can pick up the stupid card, here we go. Your inner voice was speaking to you for a long time. When she comes out, I mean, it's no doubt what she needs. It's no doubt what you need. Okay? This is a time for you to go take it. Take what's rightfully yours. which is peace and happiness and prosperity and joy and getting rid of all of that toxic past programming. Ruthless, right? It's a bloodbath. Bloodbath of negative energy is just bleh, kind of is how I see it. Now, March is an interesting month because we have Sun coming in contact with Neptune, and then he'll, come in contact with Chiron a little bit later on in Aries season. So we get the Three of Swords. Just preparing. Oh, of course, that one falls down. So we get the Three of Swords, which comes out. And the Three of Swords was originally clarified by the King of Coins. And then I pulled out these extra two just to kind of see what else was really going on. But let's talk about these first. Is this you or is this someone else? It's very possibly you. Again, you might be wearing a really thick armor. Because I'm wondering if you're feeling the vulnerability from the month before. I mean, this is awesome. But doing courageous things and being brave in our lives does put us in a vulnerable position because it's a new place. Now, you're no stranger to new stuff. You're no stranger to reinvention. But you're also no stranger to the protective qualities, to the armor. And I'm wondering if the change wasn't so abrupt that you're really needing time to just figure it out, to just adjust. Because the Hermit reversed suggests that something is going on and you don't quite know what it is. And that's very rare for a Scorpio. Normally, a Scorpio has stuff going on, but they know exactly what's going on. Like they can feel it, they can sense it, and they have the mental capacity to interpret it because you have Gemini in the 8th house, and Gemini is very quick to understand. So there's detachment here in a very big way. Detachment from emotions, detachment from any kind of offerings that come because of the Neptune Sun thing. I mean, it's just a weird time for everybody anyway. And I sense drive in you at this time. Like there's some serious motivation with that King of Coins. Serious motivation going on, but yet there's still an air of stagnation at the same time. So you're kind of in this contradictory place and you don't quite really know how to proceed. The King of Pentacles suggests really just standing still for a while and allowing things to process to a point where you understand them. Okay, to process it till you understand them. And until you understand them, I wouldn't do major things. I know you just had all this momentum in the beginning of the year. It was the same thing in 2018, right? All the planets going direct, January and February, it was like full force ahead. And then March hits and boom, we're like down for the count. Because we had all the Pisces activity going on. So like, yeah, I mean, it was a lot of stuff. And it's going to be a lot of stuff. We also have a Mercury retrograde in there. Did I say that? Mercury retrograde, Sun, Chiron, Sun, Neptune, all this stuff. So when we make our way into Aries season, it's like a bat out of hell. Again, Queen of Swords, Queen of Wands. And this is why I said a bat out of hell, because it's like full force ahead again. Reminiscent of January with the Emperor energy. At this time, there's going to be, again, look at all these wands. Queen of Wands, 9 of Wands, 7 of Wands. There's going to be a fast track towards something, a fast track to some kind of a goal. And I think you accomplish it. I think this is a short-term thing. You're just going to have to deal with March, get kind of over yourself, do the digestion, do the inner work that's needed, put the ego aside, become, a more humble version of yourself, which Neptune does, humbles us, and just grow from it and learn from it. And it's like pedal to the metal here. The thing is that I wonder if you are in a little bit of a battle within yourself During this time, Seven of Wands suggests kind of two opposing forces, and we have the Libra-Aries axis going on here. Thinking about stuff, being indecisive, continuing to wait, or full-on Queen of Wands powerhouse movement. I think you're going to tap more into the Queen of Wands because that's just a little bit more of your essence because of the naturally, Mars rulership there. I think you feel more comfortable with the Mars quality. Rather than the Venus, right? Also Venus versus Mars going on here too. However, the Queen of Swords has her place, and she is your overall energy. Thinking things through. So if you're experiencing the indecisive quality of the Queen of Wands here for whatever reason, remember to ask yourself the core question, like, is it good for me or is it not good for me? Is it negative or not? Is there a real payout here or not? The ruthless kind of cold shoulder, sort of ice queen quality of the Queen of Swords can actually be really beneficial at a time when you're feeling conflicted, because you're going to be able to make those decisions a lot easier. And again, Sun coming in contact with Chiron, but also entering into a Mars ruled sign. It's like, do I deal with my woundings? Do I deal with my emotional stuff? Or do I just go out there and get it? I think you're just going to go out there and get it. It's really what I think. It's a work season for you anyway. Sun coming into your 6th house. It's time for you to go to work. It's time for you to focus on the things that need to get done. So whatever is kind of on the fence there, whatever internal conflict you have, you can get to the bottom of it real easy if you just are like more strict with yourself and kind of even more strict with other people too. These energies can reflect other people, of course, people in your life, more feminine. There's like a mixture of feminine and masculine coming out here with the Queen's feminine, but the fire and air masculine. And they could be trying to push you too and trying to have kind of influences on you. And you're kind of in this place of really trying to defend yourself and trying to make your own stuff happen. So it's like a push-pull between taking care of yourself and taking care of others. Just a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to be a very active month for you, which will be great. I mean, I love to see, no matter what's going on, I love to see activity. I love to see things going on in the outside world. So we move into Taurus season. And we get this beautiful 9 of Coins and 4 of Swords. Amazing. This is your 7th house activity. Sun coming in contact with Uranus at this time. And you are in this place just so zen, super self-reliant and feeling great about yourself. I think that whatever it is that you've been kind of working on, especially professionally and financially, it's going to start to really pay off at this time of the year. You're feeling beautiful, you're feeling attractive, sexy, kind of doing your whole sexy Scorpio thing, but also feeling really at peace with the 4 of Swords. And it's possible that you may even want to be a little bit of a homebody during this time, be in your natural space, be in the space where you have a lot more control, and allow the positive vibes to really just flow through you. And please do take as much time as you need, because next month, Gemini season, it's going to be even awesome, even more awesome. So take the time that you need, build up that self-worth, that self-value, do your meditations, prayer, working on your home environment, working on cleaning up all the little last minute details that need to be taken care of. Again, the kind of ruthless quality here of the Queen of Swords sort of carrying over, because what's going to happen when you hit Gemini season is so exciting. Boom, King of Wands, 3 of Coins. There's serious entrepreneurialism going on here. There's big picture stuff. There's activity. There's movement, motion. Gemini season always gets people out and about. There's social engagement, professional networking, all these kinds of things, creative collaborations. And this is a time of both brainstorming and also making it happen. So it's kind of this simultaneous doing it all kind of thing. You don't need to overwhelm yourself at this time. That's not what I'm saying. You can still take it one day at a time. But because you've freed up a lot of that space because of this, You've freed up a lot of that space. Also this. So now you have a capacity to fill it up with better things, right? You have the capacity to spend your time in a higher quality manner. And your standards are super high, right? King of Wands. I think you're going to be feeling so great because it's Gemini season, yeah, and maybe you don't vibe so well with Gemini, but you do vibe with 8th house activity. So here you go. This is going to be a time for you to set a new bar for yourself, a new standard, right? Okay, I've done so much and now I can reassess. Reassessing goals, reassessing the ambitions and the whole kind of purpose behind everything. And you're going to need to keep that momentum going because as we hit Cancer season, now I know you're a water sign and you can handle Cancer season. We got the sun coming in opposition with Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. We also have the eclipses doing their transition from Leo, Aquarius to Cancer, Capricorn. So Cancer season is going to be a little bit tricky, and we have a Mercury retrograde at that time as well. So there's some weird things happening. First of all, let's start with this one actually. Let's start with the Chariot because this is the card of Cancer. So it's coming out in the appropriate month. And it's about the alignment of the light and the dark, the alignment of the conscious and the unconscious, just like work these two working together, the masculine and feminine, boom, here they are. You, the guiding force, right? Your soul, this is like your soul, your higher self here, guiding your illuminated and unilluminated self in one direction. This is a life purpose card. That's why the King of Wands energy in Gemini season is so critical because this becomes this. This guy gets promoted to a major arcana to become a pharaoh or whatever. So you're now a leader in your own life. And you may turn into a leader in your company, in your relationship, in your family. And you're going to have people following you and applauding you and celebrating you. And it's important for you to remember that you do have people on your side that love and care about you. Okay? It's important. Things are going to happen. Things are happening for you. It's going to be a busy month. All right? You're going to feel this expansiveness, this expansive 9th house, right? This expansive quality that happens, which can be both a blessing, but also a curse. And the only reason I'm saying that, not to project negativity, but because we get a couple of rough cards coming out during this time. But Pluto-Sun opposition makes sense that we're dealing with stuff because we've got, you know, people going through major changes. They don't know where they're going to be in 2 months. You don't know where you're going to be in 2 months. They're probably not as conscious as you, so they might not be acting in the best manner. And it's possible that something unfair happens or unjust, right? There could be some level of deception. There could be some loss, some court case or whatever that is lost, or you may perceive to not be in your favor. That's fine. It's all going to work out. It always does. And I'm looking ahead in the cards. It all works out. But when you're kind of in the thick of it, you can be like, oh man, you know, this can feel very overwhelming. Your fears, the things that you thought you had broken free from back in Aquarius season in February, may creep back, and you may find yourself shooting yourself in the foot or self-sabotaging in some way because there's fear. There is no reason to be afraid because your higher self, the one that's like back there playing the Earth Experience video game, is very much in control. This is a month of faith. And your faith is going to be tested for sure. So lean into it and allow it to just happen and unfold the way it needs to. That's what you're good at that anyway. That's how Pluto works, right? He's so slow and it's just like this tsunami that just comes up and just swallows things, like I always say. And it's like, holy cow, where the heck did that come from? I didn't even see it coming. That's kind of the essence of Pluto. So you vibe with that anyway. So one day at a time, go with the flow, allow it to unfold however it needs to unfold. You don't have control at that time. No one does. That's the hardest part, is just like, wow, we don't have control. Okay? And whatever is needing to be destructed will be, period. Because as we move into Leo season, it all irons out. You know, we get the nodes out of there. So Leo season is actually like a lot lighter. Like the sun comes home. It's amazing. And there's, you know, a square with Uranus. So there could be something major that happens. And for you, I think it's extraordinarily positive. Page of Wands is about optimism. It's about taking things in stride. Four of Wands is about stability and marriage and being with people that you love, being with the family or the family that you've created, with friends or coworkers or whatever. But it is very much about feeling grounded. Either way, Four of Wands is always about feeling grounded. So whatever kind of shitstorm, if that's how it manifests for you, some of you are going to really take this Chariot in stride and propel yourself and be totally unaffected by the Seven of Swords. So it depends on how well or how conscious you are of what's going on. Because if you can tap into this, you're golden, which here you are, golden. It's going to happen anyway. So no matter what happens, no matter what choices you make during that time, you're going to be fine. You're going to be golden anyway. It just might take you a little bit longer, right? But boom, all is well. It's creative spirit in the air. Leo, 10th house, right? You're being in the public eye. You are being seen. People are noticing you. You're feeling this kind of rush of change, you know, all the changes that have just already happened, feeling the rush of like, okay, now I get to experience the good things that come of that. So here you are. Now, when we move into Virgo season, remember that the Sun and Neptune are going to be opposing each other this month. So what I think happens is that you're going to have to realize that something really is done. That past self really is gone. Those fears, those things that were so comfortable, they really are gone. Now, this is actually a blessing. They look kind of like dark cards and they seem kind of frustrated, but in actuality, they're not. I think this is you mourning the loss of your past self, because now you're being challenged where you were so excited about change in Aquarius season. You were so ready for it. And in Gemini season, you got the ball rolling and things were charging forward like crazy. And now you're like, holy cow, like I kind of wish that I didn't push myself so far, because now I have to live up to this whole thing that I built. But I mean, that's ridiculous, right? That's all just up here, because what I actually see happening is prosperity. And it's kind of like this, okay, well, which energies do you want to partake in? Do you want to partake in this, or do you want to partake in this? Because the Page of Swords is all about excitement. It's all about curiosity. It's about like, yeah, let's go see what's on the side of that other hill, right? Let's go see what's on the other side. And the Three of Wands is about waiting for the things to manifest, waiting for the money to come in, waiting for the fans and the people to become involved, waiting for the results. And they're always positive with the Three of Wands. Always. Always, always, always. This is like a Wheel of Fortune card. I might as well have pulled the Wheel of Fortune. You're sitting steady. Four of Wands from the month before. I mean, these are really sturdy cards. Okay? Neptune just comes and makes things weird. That's all. Neptune just like makes sure that you know that at any given moment, the illusion that you've built up of who you think you are can be taken away like that. That's what, like Neptune's job. If you are not prepared for a Neptune, Uranus, or Pluto transit, they can completely rip you up. But if you are conscious of what's going on, they make you so much stronger. And that's the thing I'm really learning just for myself on my own, is just like, if you know what the whole point of it is, then it doesn't seem so bad. It's like, okay, I'm supposed to be feeling like this. It's going to pass, you know, and I can even give you the dates. Like, okay, it'll probably be over in 2 weeks, right? We move into Libra season, and all the stuff that, remember, in March, needing to digest stuff, well, here you are, I think, fully digested, okay? Fully on point. You've attained wise man status at this point, right? You've attained the understanding that is required of you. So this is a period of success. And it's not even a surprise that the card of Libra comes out. And this seems to be, I know it doesn't really have any major arcana. I mean, it does, but it doesn't have like really loud major arcana. But it's no surprise that this seems to be like a pinnacle moment of the year. A very important, right? 12th house activity happens, and here you are. And the new horizon, sorry, I lost my train of thought. The new horizons, the world of possibility, again, reminiscent of Aquarius season. I know I keep holding them up, but just to remind you guys, I can see them in front of me. So things are happening, Page of Cups. People want to be a part of what you've got. People want to be a part of your creativity and your power and this sense of like awesomeness. Like, you don't have to let go of this, what happens in May. You don't have to let go of this. This is amazing. This is what people want to attach to. These are the people who run projects. These are the people who are so confident being single that people can't help but want to be in a relationship with them, right? These are the people that have it going on. And I think you're stepping into this new level of attractiveness, just like even just physically, because you're radiating from the inside out, and you're kind of wearing your experiences as like a badge of honor, to the point where you're very proud of the ups and downs of your life, which you should be, everyone should be. And because of this, like, yep, this is who I am. I mean, there's this raw vulnerability, even though you hate being vulnerable. You are vulnerable, but you don't let that bring you down. And you use it as a strength rather than as a weakness or victimizing yourself. And you draw people in. Money may be a little bit weird right now at this time. I'm not quite sure why. I'm feeling a little bit of financial strain in the latter kind of parts of the year. So in the beginning, let's talk about the financials of this. In the beginning, if you're feeling financially like really strong, do whatever you need to do to make sure that you keep it this way. And there's not a lot of kind of wasteful spending. Remember, Queen of Swords, the bloodbath of irrelevant stuff. Extraneous expenses is included. Okay, unnecessary expenses. Be prudent this year. Be prudent all year. Queen of Pentacles. There can be questions going on of like, what is this all for? There can be questions of, am I being effective? Am I making an impact? Am I respected? Do people appreciate what I'm doing? You don't need to question that. You know, I mean, you can, but you don't really need to. The answer is yes. Okay, the answer is yes. Now, when we move into your solar return, something is easing up. 10 of Wands reversed, making your life easier, feeling the weight fall off your shoulders. 2 of Coins, being able to keep things going, keeping the wheels spinning, keeping the projects going, all the maintenance that's involved. There's like an automation quality, I feel, with the 2 of Cups here, automating the little tasks or outsourcing the little tasks, perhaps, that you don't need to do or that are a waste of your time and energy. There's also an element of ensuring your authenticity, because when you are faced with some kind of choice, it's important for you to know who you are and what you really stand for, which I think is a lot of what Gemini season is really about. This is who I am, King of Wands, Leo quality here. and using that sense of authenticity and saying, okay, well, it's not really about the two choices. It's about my overall vision, my overall purpose. What is my overall vision and purpose? And which one of these options is most in line with that? Then the decision is easy. Okay. So now as we move into December, we have, oh, actually, don't forget that Jupiter is moving from Sagittarius into Capricorn as well. And we're preparing for that big transit. 2020 is actually kind of a crazy year, especially if you are in the United States, because the US is going to get their Pluto return in 2020. So we have the Pluto, Saturn, Sun, Mercury conjunction in Capricorn in January 2020. And then as Capricorn progresses, continues, hits 27 degrees, Pluto return for the United States. First one. So we'll see how that goes. So we're all kind of building up to that too. Ace of Wands. Didn't we get another Ace of Wands, right? Oh no, maybe that was a different sign I'm thinking of. Didn't we? No, we didn't. Anyway, irrelevant. But Ace of Wands, here it is. And that is connected with what happened in Gemini season. New opportunities for things to really come to fruition. There's new directions probably, but not like a completely veering off, not a complete reinvention. I think you've already kind of gone through that over the past few years. Now is a time to like take that vision that you've created for yourself and just keep enhancing it. So this is not completely fresh, completely new. It's just taking the core idea and making it better. It's building upon all the previous energy. So that's great. This is kind of why I was like, just make sure financially, you know, that you save, that you're prudent, that you really take care of your finances all year. I mean, you're a money sign, so usually money's not too big of an issue for Scorpio. But be careful too, especially in Cancer season, because if there was someone that you did business with that turned out to be super shady, they really could have a negative impact on you. So I'm just a little bit worried. So just be super cautious all year. This is going to be a time when you... I don't know why I'm getting a little bit of an unfocused vibe with the Eight of Coins reversed. There's either a lack of focus or kind of maybe there's too many things going on. It is the holiday season, so maybe that's kind of what's going on. Too many things on your plate. Maybe you stop dropping the ball. That's why this decision is important for you to make sure. Again, Queen of Swords, make sure you cut through the BS and only do the things that are really relevant, that are really important. Any of the unnecessary stuff can either just disappear from your to-do list entirely or just get pushed back. This is about putting yourself first. I'm not really seeing a lot with romance or partnerships, not to say that, I mean, of course you guys have relationships, so not to say that there's not a lot going on for you individually there, but really this year is an individual journey. It's an individual path, and any and all of your growth experiences are probably going to be because of the things you put yourself through, right? More than anything, up here especially. Nine of Cups is about having this sense of dignity and honor. And like I said before, being really proud of the things that you've gone through. And it's because of that that you create, right? The aces are manifestations of our mental and emotional states. We create these, we manifest these with the energy that we put out. And when you put out good intentions and positivity, you get those good things back. So, be brutally honest with yourself about what needs to stay and what needs to go. This is not a time for indecision. This is a time to really put yourself out there, to really put yourself forward. It's not a time for fear. There's no place for that anymore. It's a time for courage, which a Queen of Swords is very good at. to do the unpopular thing, but to do what's right. And I think that you are very much going to be doing what's right this year. Okay? It's a lot of ups and downs. I mean, it's that way for everyone. But I do hope that this can be a good reference for you guys. So that when you're going through some of this stuff, you can be like, okay, I know what's going on. But yeah, I mean, all in all, great year. Great year. All right. Thank you guys so much. Take care.